Look, if you've been searching for Viagra alternatives online, you've probably seen the same 3 or 4 names pop up over and over again. There's Hims, Roe, maybe a few others, but there's one that most people are sleeping on, and honestly, it might be the best option out there right now. And I'm going to break it all down for you today. But wait, real quick, before we get into it, I've dropped a link in the description to Rugiet if you want to check it out while we go through this. No pressure, of course, just easier than searching for it later. You can listen to me at the same time you're setting it up. Actually, you'll probably get it finished before this video's over. But anyways, here's the thing. I went down a pretty deep rabbit hole on ED telehealth platforms because honestly, the options are overwhelming. Everyone's running ads, everyone's promising the same thing, and it's hard to know who to actually trust. Well, I tested and researched a bunch of these platforms, and what I kept coming back to was Rugiet. Not because of the marketing, but because of what they're actually offering that the others aren't. Now, here's what I mean. Look at what most of these platforms do. Hims gives you a standard sildenafil or tadalafil tablet. Roe does the same thing, mostly single ingredient, FDA approved pills, of course. And look, those work for a lot of people. But the problem is they're basically just digitizing what your doctor would already prescribe. There's no real innovation there, playing you for your convenience, which is fine, but you're not getting anything different. That's the gap Rugiet fills, and it's a pretty significant one. Rugiet's flagship product is called Rugiet Ready, and it's a 3-in-1 sublingual lozenge. That means it dissolves under your tongue. Inside it, you've got sildenafil or tadalafil combined with apomorphine and oxytocin. Now, that combination is something you are not going to find at Hims or Roe. Those platforms stick to single ingredient formulations. Of course, Rugiet is working with compounded medications that are designed to hit multiple pathways at once, which is a completely different approach. Because it's sublingual, meaning it absorbs through the tissue under your tongue, it bypasses the digestive system. That means it can kick in significantly faster than a standard pill. If you've ever taken a Viagra or a generic sildenafil and had to plan around an hour or two in advance, then you know how inconvenient that is. Rugiet is designed to reduce that window considerably. That's a real practical difference that matters. This sounds like a small thing on paper, but it actually matters for consistency. The lozenges are flavored masks, so they don't taste like medication. That makes it easier to actually use them regularly without dreading it. I wish they were flavored. But it's the kind of thing that shows the product was designed with the user experience in mind, not just the clinical outcome. Now, they also have some others like Rugiet Boost, which combines tadalafil with DHEA, and GoLong, which is tadalafil with paroxetine for PE. So if ED is only part of the picture, they've got options that addresses more than one thing at once. Again, that's something Hims and Roe are not doing at this level. Now, to be fair, Rugiet is not perfect because they use compounded medications. They're not technically FDA approved in the same way a standard generic sildenafil is. Compounded drugs go through a different regulatory process, and that's not necessarily a deal breaker, and plenty of people use compounded medications safely every day, but it's something you should know going in. Also, the pricing is a bit on the higher side, and compared to basic generic options, that's just the way it goes. If budget is the main concern, that's worth factoring in. Of course, Rugiet is a great fix if you've already tried standard ED pills and felt like the timing was inconvenient, the results were inconsistent, or you just want something more dialed in. It's also a strong option if you're dealing with both ED and PE and want to handle both with one product. Now, if you're brand new to this and just want the cheapest possible option, a basic generic from Hims or Roe might make more sense to start. But if you want something that's actually built differently, Rugiet is worth a serious look. If you're going to try it, I put the link in the description below. It'll take you straight to their site so you can look at the options and see which formula makes sense for you and the situation that you're in now. And their intake process is straightforward. And you can connect with the licensed provider, so it's a legitimate telehealth setup, not some sketchy online pharmacy. Plus, the sublingual delivery alone sets it apart from everything else in the space. It's that faster onset combined with a multi-drug formula, which is something no other major platform is offering right now. They might in the future, but that's the one thing alone that made it worth it for me.